Hey, look at that. It's experimental period 7 again. This is Monday, August 19th, and we're going to be doing our last little talky thing about our small world projects, then getting into the project here in a moment. There's a couple things I have to hit first before we begin the project. It should be a fairly short video. If you look down in the corner over there, it shouldn't say it's super long, unless I just really hate children, which is always possible. Stuff up there, things you need, normal seats. We did have some new seats today, so if you're gone today, you might be in a new spot when you get back. Surprise! And tomorrow, we have our NWEA testing. So the way it works here is that you are going to be in your, hey, you found it, what a happy day. In your first period for 2.5 hours tomorrow. You have 2 hours of NWEA test, and then a half hour of actual English. For many of you, you're not going to use that full 2 hours, because you're going to end up like just randomly hitting questions. Go ahead and open the door because David's going to come back in just a moment. Save us some banging on it. Thank you. So for those of you who are the speedy takers and you're just like clickety, 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 3.5 minutes. In that case, 1, congratulations on your failure. 2, you are going to have to do something with the rest of your time. So I recommend bringing a book or bringing something to work on while you're in class so you have something to not irritate your teacher. Are we going to irritate you, Mr. Brovicast? Yes. No, because you're not going to be in my room. You're not in my first period, so it's your first period teacher. And why, yes, Michael, you're correct. You are in the wrong seat. You're back one. So yeah, it's all right. I got you. You weren't here when we did them, so it's not your fault.
Said I was in this one.
Nah, no, they lied to you. Those horrible children. No one likes them anyway. And so from there, those of you who don't finish in time, if you take more than the 2 hours, that's also fine. If you're the kid that ends up taking a really long time on it, you'll just spend more time on finishing Thursday. Won't be the end of the world for you either. Our best will be to try to help you out. Justin.
Will you still take it if you have first period Romans?
Yes. It just means that you're going to be sitting like in the big gymnasium or something. It'll be really fun like that. And we do go to the library coming up Thursday of this week. We get to go to the new East Wing, which is our little tiny library. No luck finding it. I have a new one for you on my desk over yonder. The good news is I don't charge you extra points because you went to go look and you asked early. So it'll be the white one that's right over there. So we go to the library on Thursday. The bad news is I also get to introduce your new book report on Thursday. Because what's the point of reading if we can't ruin it with a project? And so the good news is I try to be creative with our projects. We do different ones every time. When I set up this project, my goal is to make it really easy. And it is a fairly easy project, but it's time intensive. The idea being, if you start it early, super easy to get done. If you try to do it the night before, it's impossible because of how much time it takes to do. So it's my way of trying to reward those kids who don't procrastinate and wait to the last minute. But we'll talk about that on Thursday when we get closer. And then Friday, you're going to begin giving speeches. Because Friday is when you're going to stand up with your group and begin telling everybody what's going on with your group and stuff like that. From there we have... as you guys do interviewing things today, and you start going through those stages, if you have questions, please feel free to ask me. I'm more than happy to help you out. Although, I would recommend asking the people in your group first. Because if it's a question that's straight from the directions, I'll probably end up mocking you. If you come up to me and go, Mr. Brovicast, do we have to have the middle name? Then I'll make fun of you because, yes, we mentioned it multiple times. I would recommend asking your partner, asking the kids in your group, and if they all go, we have no idea, then come ask me. And there's every chance I get a chance to help you out. Did you guys have any questions yet? Yes, Lizzie.
Can I guess how long this video is going to be?
Any other questions?
Oh, it's recording.
Right. Postery thing. On here, if you finish interview, you'll get a chance to work on poster. I have your group pictures from last week, and then I also have the posters I'll give to you, and you get a chance to start putting all that stuff together. The biggest area that you guys are going to mess up is wherever your picture is, your stuff needs to be right next to it. So if this is you, make sure your stuff is there. What I have kids do is have this be their picture, but their stuff ends up being on the other side, which makes the poster really confusing. Because if a kid's trying to become friends with you, and they're looking at all the different pictures on there, and they're like, it must be this person, but really it's that person, then your new stalker/friend is going to get really confused when they confront the wrong kid in the hallway. And no one wants an awkward stalker moment. So always make sure your stuff is right next to where your face is. Asan.
I know those 3 are you, but who's that one?
My daughter. Okay. That one right there? Yeah, that's a younger version of me. She's now in high school. She's escaped this building. No. We should have had this entry put into your notebook. Did we do this one with you guys already? We should be good, correct? Yeah, no. So this is where today, when you do your interview, this is where you're writing down all that information. So you're not putting it on the handout or some random spot. And I'll be coming around to check to make sure that you're doing it correctly. Do my best to try and help you. Today, your goals for today. 1, finish your interview. For some of you, begin your interview because you spent Friday staring at the wall, drooling, so you're a little bit behind. Your interview should be finished by the end of class today. So you should have gotten to the point where you finished it. In theory, beginning your poster, depending on how responsible your group is, but you should be able to finish interview today, and I'll try to give you a little countdown as we're doing it to help keep you focused and on time. You'll have some time tomorrow for interview, but mostly tomorrow is working on the poster. Excuse me. And find your things in common for the group, not the 2 of you, but the 4 of you. You all work together. Group pick, blah, 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 blah. Put all your stuff on there. That's where your 5 things come in. So again, putting all of your stuff onto your poster once you've done it, make sure it's next to the correct you. Now, let's learn Igpe Atenlay. Look at your little white piece of paper. On the bottom of a little white piece of paper, you're going to see a big blank area. On both sides, pick either one. Write your name in big, easy-to-read letters, because you're going to do Pig Latin on your name, which is going to require crossing out and moving of things and stuff like that. So write your name, first and last, all parts of your name, first name. And if you don't remember your last name, look on the front of your notebook. It'll help you out a little bit. It's kind of scary. I just saw some of you look at your notebook. Not judging. All right, maybe judging a little bit. So we're going to use the name Bobby Spiderpig, because I figure that's a pretty easy name to start with. 1, the first thing you do anytime you do Pig Latin is you have to figure out your first vowel in each word. To help you out, there are 5.5 vowels. What are the 5 vowels?
A-E-I-O-U.
And sometimes, there you go. So figure out your first vowel in your name. Now, for some of you, your first vowel is the first letter, like if your name was Abby. In that case, you get to wait a moment, because there's another step for you. If your name begins with a vowel, you get to like just chill out and wait. The rest of you, draw an arrow to the first vowel in your name. To help you out, in Bobby, what is our first vowel in Bobby?
O.
And in Spiderpig?
I.
Nicely done. So I drew little arrows to mine, draw little arrows to you, find your first vowel.
Oh, never mind.
Good job. Good game we played there. Once you've done that, find all the consonants in front of your vowel. So here it's, well actually in Bobby, what's my consonants in front of it?
B.
And in Spiderpig it is?
S-P.
There you go. So on yours, figure out what your letters are in front of your first vowel. And what you're going to do is move those letters to the end of it. So move it to the end, move it to the end. To help you out, this now looks like Abby with a B, Eiderpig with an SP. So yours are doing the same thing. We've moved that letter to the end. For some of you, this is beyond your grasp. And I lost you when I said the word vowels. That's fine. That means you're not going to choose this as an option. I understand this can be challenging for you. That's why I made it an option. If you like it, you'll choose to do it. If it hurts your brain, choose not to do it. Once you have moved that letters to the end, the last step, you add an AY to the end of the word. So Abby B gets an AY. Eiderpig Spa gets an AY. You smash that together, and that becomes Pig Latin. So Abby B plus AY becomes Abby Bay. Eiderpig SP plus AY becomes Eiderpig Spay. That's really all there is to it. Moving letters to the end, adding an AY. The tough thing for you is going to be figuring out how to pronounce it. Because when you see this and you see that, you're going to go, Mr. Brovicast, that's gibberish. You're right. But you have to be able to pronounce your gibberish and figure out what it is. If not, then ooh-a-r-a, oopidstay, I'll-shay, ooh-ha, ooh-ha, ooh-ha. So now, those of you whose names begin with a vowel, let's help you out. Let's say your name is Andy Awesome. In that case, you get to go make it even easier. Because if your name's Andy Awesome, what's the first vowel in Andy?
A.
And in Awesome?
A.
Good job. Do you have any consonants in front of it?
No.
No. So you get to skip that step and go straight to the adding of AY. So it just becomes Andy plus AY, Awesome plus AY. So Andy Awesome becomes
Andy Awesome.
Just like that. Isline unday. You'll know you're doing it correctly when every word either should begin with a vowel and end in AY. If not, ooh, yay, R-A, eshel, spay, ike. Christopher Gray? Good job. If this made sense to you, go with it. If it did not, skip it. If you're not sure, you feel free to come up and ask me in a little bit and go, hey, did I do this correctly? And I can help you out. If not, trying to help you out on that one. Hey, Omine?
How do we pronounce it? Or can you help us pronounce it?
I can usually try. I'm going to make you try to pronounce it first, because it's good to struggle on your own, and then I can help guide you from there. Hey, Omine?
I've already pronounced it.
Good job, Amity. Yes. Island Ray?
If there is a ton of letters in your name
Yeah.
before a vowel,
Yeah.
would all those letters
Yep.
still go behind?
Yep. Good job. That's what thinking feels like. Christopher Gray? We'll come back to you again.
No.
Yep.
Okay. So what if you have no vowels in your name?
Doesn't exist. Problem solved. Next up, for today when you are working on things, to help you out when you're doing your interview, have you followed directions? I keep saying this directions thing over and over again. This is where it starts to come back to haunt you, because Friday when you're standing up in front of the class giving a speech and I have to make fun of you because you're the one kid who didn't do what they're supposed to, I'm trying to prevent that from happening by repeating over and over again, have you followed the directions? So, things to help you with on the following directions. 1, how many adjectives are you supposed to have?
5.
Nicely done. 5. If you forget, you can come ask me. I'm going to make up a random number to see how many adjectives I can get you to write down. So far, the most I've gotten as a kid to write down 15. But who knows? Maybe this class will be more special and I can go over that number. Fingers crossed. Because I figure if you're too lazy to look it up, then I get to have fun torturing you. When you tell me where they were born, tell me the state and the city. Because I had a lot of kids just going, Indiana, or just Noblesville. That's not the right. You have to give me both parts, Indianapolis and Indiana, state and city. When you tell me their favorite things, make sure you follow the directions that are up there. For the animal, do we know why? And when you figure out the things in common, you're going to make sure you explain to me the whole group, not just 2 of you, but it should be all 4 to all 5 of you. Finally, I took your group pictures last week, so I'll hand those back to you today. And also today, I am taking individual pictures of you. The reason being, a couple things. 1, I like to be creepy. 2, sorry, that's what kids like to think. I'm going to end up choosing some of you guys as my student of the week. And when I make you student of the week, you get a poster with your face on there and all smiley about how cool you are, so you get to brag to the other kids. That picture comes from today. 2, some of you guys are going to be students of the month, where you get to be like all biggy and braggy, and you get like a poster out in the hallway and your name and the announcements. That picture comes from today. Plus, the third thing is, I keep these pictures forever. So if there's a chance I run into you when you're in high school, I can pull this picture back out like, hey, would you like to see an embarrassing picture of you from 7th grade? Today's that day where the embarrassing picture happens. If you've had older siblings come to my room, I have embarrassing pictures of them too, because I've got to keep those forever and ever. So as much as it might be awful for you to think of you getting your embarrassing picture now, look on the bright side, you have siblings who I can show you their embarrassing pictures, and it makes everything all right. When you get your picture, I'm going to turn this off so you're not being all blind and like, ah. So I'll turn that off. You're going to stand on my little podium thing here. You just stand in front of my white screen. Imagine you're getting arrested, and you're doing your little thing where you get to stand up here in front of it. For some of you, #life goal. But you just stand right here, and you get a chance to smile. Do we have to smile? No, you don't have to smile. This is a picture I'm keeping of you forever and ever and ever. That might be on a poster for everyone to see. For some of you, you're going to be, and you're great. Others of you are more, and you're going to stare at me, or whatever your particular face might be. The only face you have to make is one that has your face on it, and then you should be good to go. So you just can't wear someone else's face, and you should be fine. So I'll be calling you guys up by group when I do that. I'll say, Group 1, come up. You just stand there, get a picture, and then Group 2. And so we'll go through all of your pictures. You'll be standing on the little podium. Try not to fall to your death, because it's like 8 inches off the ground. If you fall to your death there, we'll bury you with it. It's okay. It's the least I can do to help you out. In a moment, you're getting ready to get into your groups, and you're getting your chance to start working. A, O mean A.